Welcome back to No Sleep for Dramas, and we are back again with arguably, as I say with every one of these, your guys' favorite video or episode. Before we start this, I just want to say I move in T-minus 2 weeks as of today. I might not put something out next week. I might. It depends on how ready I am for the move. So I don't want to promise anything starting next week. You will definitely not get anything for 2 weeks after that at the bare minimum. I'm still on the fence about next week. So I'll let you know if you'll get one or not, but I can't decide yet because I move that coming weekend and I just don't know if I'm gonna have the time to do that. If you're watching this, you obviously got this week. I just don't know for the rest of July. Definitely by the end of July, we are not getting another video until the middle of August, but I'm on the fence for next week. I'll let you know what happens. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about one of your favorite videos, of course, and that is what I'm watching, my watch list. We are in July. I know I said I'm moving at the end of the month, and I live in the United States, so we obviously had a long weekend for July 4th because it was our 250th birthday of this country. I took that opportunity to basically click play on everything because what do I do when I'm stressed? I click play on new dramas, and I was stressed. So we have a lot to talk about in this, both things that I've had on my current watch list since January, and I just need to either put them on hold and come back to them or actually start watching them. And things I just randomly started from the long weekend because I started like 7 or 8 new dramas. I'm watching a lot now. I have a lot to talk about. This is going to be a longer video for sure because of just the sheer amount of things I have started and I have to now introduce to you because I've never mentioned them ever. But I don't know. Sometimes I think it's a good thing you just click play on stuff. Sometimes not. Probably not the best decision for me to do with me moving in 2 weeks, but we're here. We're here. And some of the things I did click play on, I had to because I have future podcast reviews of this. Some I really did not. I just felt like, I just want to watch this, so I'm going to click play. You'll definitely question why some of the dramas that are on the back burner currently are still on my back burner because they're probably some of the most popular dramas of 2026, and I should have watched them and completed them by now, but that's where I'm at this point. That's where I'm at. I have no excuses. I plan to at least finish one more drama before the end of July. Hopefully I can finish 2. But again, after this week, I'm playing it by ear until I get the move done, until I'm somewhat situated to film something again. So we're going to take it week by week after this week. Come August, I definitely am going to be wrapping up July, so you'll find out what I completed. I'll probably do another watch list right away because I may have binged something, I may have not, I don't know. But we're going to play it by ear after this week until we actually are moved and set up again. We'll see what happens. But pretty much the next time you see me, I'll be in my new apartment. As per usual, in what I'm currently watching, I talk about everything I'm currently watching. I recommend them if I like them. I tell you to not watch something if I don't like it. If it is a drama that I have never mentioned ever, I will introduce you to it, synopsis, some of the cast maybe, and since I started a lot of dramas, we have a lot to introduce. What am I currently watching? As I said, I click play on a lot of stuff, and I have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. These are all of the K-dramas I am currently watching, or at least that are on my current watch list. Some I'm not currently watching because they've been on here forever and I need to actually actively watch them again. We're not going to talk about those. We're just not going to mention that. But there's many that I actually am currently watching and actively watching. Even one that I'm almost done with. First one I mention is Agent Kim Reactivated. I watched the first episode of this. I think it has aired 6 episodes now? 5 episodes? Something like that. This is a 10-episode Korean drama. It started to air on June 26th. You can watch it on Netflix. And I knew I wanted to watch this when it was announced. It was one of those where they put up a semi-teaser in the award shows in January. And it stars Soji Sub. And we all know one of my favorite dramas from 2025 was Mercy for None. So, of course, you have Soji Sub in kind of the same drama in a way, at least within the action scenes. You knew I was going to click play on this eventually, and you knew I was probably going to love it because I love the first episode. I'm really behind. I only have watched the first episode, and it's now up to 6, but here we are. Agent Kim Reactivated is about a father played by Soji Sub, and he apparently is a single father raising a teenage daughter, and he has a secret where he is a former spy. He was a South Korean spy thrown into North Korea on many, many missions, so he's on the wanted list everywhere, basically. And due to his wife dying, he retired, and raised his daughter as a single father. And in the first episode, I'm not spoiling anything. It's in the synopsis. It's in the teaser trailer. His daughter gets kidnapped for some reason, and he has to wake up those connections again and use his ex-spy abilities to find her. And we are now on episode 6. So this stars Soji Sub. It stars Choi Dae-hoon, who is one of his friends. It stars Yoon Kyung-ho, who is another prominent friend. His daughter is played by So Soo-min, and then you see other people that you might recognize in the supporting cast. But those 4 people are pretty much the main characters, really. One of the villains, I think, I haven't got to him yet, but due to spoilers, I know. One of the villains is Choi Sung-wook. He's like a chairman of some sort. So as I said, I watched the first episode of this, and it draws you in. You definitely go from 0 to 100 in a span of an hour. I mean, at the start, it's just a regular single father raising a teenage daughter and what you would think a single father has to go through when raising a teenage daughter, like her complaining about her not having the best cell phone or figuring out what she wants for her birthday. And her being in her rebellious teenage years where she doesn't want to talk to him at all and doesn't want him to enter her room type situation. And then by the end, you get this amazing fight scene, which I'm not going to spoil, really, but that fight scene at the end reveals everything Soji Sub's character's been hiding. I have to laugh. I'm going to spoil the fight scene a little bit because I actually laughed. You know the director did the fight scene at the end for the ladies because the whole thing, and I'm not going to reveal anything about it, but it takes place in the rain. He's fighting this thug guy that he comes across. The thug guy takes off his shirt. He's covered in the typical thug tattoos. And the thug guy is like, hey, take off your shirt. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. And Soji Sub is wearing a suit with a button-up long sleeve shirt. And he doesn't go to take off his shirt like the thug is asking him to. The thug is like, all right, I'll take it off for you. And he rips the shirt. The camera pans down and all you see is Soji Sub's 8-pack and then just all the scars he got from his ex-spy missions. And you know how that camera was panning. It was for the ladies. For sure for the ladies. Amazingly shot fight scene. And it's only like 2 minutes and then the episode ends. So it was definitely a good cliffhanger, way to hook you in. But I just had to laugh with how the director filmed that scene for sure. I know from spoilers there is some comedy put into this. I liked the comedy that you saw in the first episode, so I think this comedy will work for me. I cannot wait to watch more. I have been spoiled on stuff because I only have watched the first episode, and it is one of the most talked about K-dramas right now with the ratings and everything like that. But I think it's worth the hype as of right now. It is only episode 6. Hopefully it sticks the landing. It's a 10-episode drama. It's airing on Netflix, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. I doubt I'll finish this in July due to obviously me moving. It's definitely a fun one. If you like these types of dramas, especially if you like Mercy for None, but if you liked Teach You a Lesson, if you like the action taxi driver type dramas, you will like this drama for sure. So that was Agent Kim Reactivated. Next drama needs no introduction because I talked about this in my last What Am I Watching? I'm still watching Teach You a Lesson, but I'm down to the last 2 or 3 episodes, so I definitely will finish this in July. I absolutely love this drama. It deserves all the hype it has. It's so good. The reason why I haven't finished it is because I'm sort of savoring it because it's that good. Also, though, it is not one that is easily bingeable because the bullies in this are so horrible. Not even just the kids. Every villain in every episode is so horrible, which speaks to how well acted it is at the same time. Great messaging with every episode. They have some great one-liners in this. I will say there is a slight bullying story in Agent Kim Reactivated, which in episode 1 you kind of get a glimpse of it. I'm sure you get more of it as the episodes go on. And then obviously Teach You a Lesson is all about bullying, at least when it comes to the students. If you have storylines with the teachers, that's a different story. Between these two dramas, and then you obviously have Study Group and you have Weak Hero, I need a break from bullying. I feel like Korea has so much bullying in their dramas, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And I know other countries have bullying storylines, but I think it's so prevalent that you could literally just watch the bullying genre in K-dramas for like a year and you'd still be watching a ton of dramas. I'm definitely going to need a break from a bullying storyline once I finish these two. Teach You a Lesson is still great. If you have not clicked play on it, please add it to your list. It's really good. It gives you a satisfying punishment ending with pretty much every episode. There is one arching thing that I think will be resolved by the end of the drama. It kind of popped up again in episode 7, episode 8, so I think they'll carry that till the end, and that will be the climax of the drama. Love the main unit. I love that this drama still puts humor into it, even though it is darker. It definitely still gives you study group vibes, which makes sense because it's in the same universe. I love Na Hwa-jin and his father-in-law's relationship. It's comedy, but it's also heartwarming because they live with this grief that they have. 100% I believe the show is going to get a season 2. I don't see how it won't. Does it need a season 2? I don't know yet because I haven't finished it. But I would not be surprised if this gets a season 2, especially with the numbers. And I actively want to punch the bad guys in the show. That's how much these bad guys aggravate me. And you care about the victims, you care about the team, and you want to see the punishment for the villains. I think that's how much that tells me that I'm invested in a show, that when I care for these people. I would definitely recommend Teach You a Lesson. I'm almost done with this. Probably be done by the end of the month, unless something happens. Honestly, I'll probably be done with it this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Next up, I'm going to talk about The Prosecutor's Proposal. This is a BL drama that I started on the holiday weekend. A Prosecutor's Proposal is a BL, as I mentioned. It's 10 episodes. You can watch it on iQIYI, I think. Yeah, I think it's on iQIYI. It stars Park Si-woo and Kim Yoon-suk. I have not seen either one of these in other dramas, but apparently they're in other dramas. Other people you might recognize, Kim Jung-tae is in this. He's a support role. Kim Nak-gun, you definitely have seen this man. He has been everywhere. He's been acting for a while. You might recognize some of the other actors. The main two leads are Park Si-woo and Kim Yoon-suk. Park Si-woo plays an investigator for the prosecutor's office, and then Kim Yoon-suk is a prosecutor. Apparently, the prosecutor, played by Kim Yoon-suk, he is the son of a victim. His father got unalived by somebody, right? And then Park Si-woo is the son of the person who did the unaliving. And then they find out they have to work together. They grew up with this stigma between the two of them, and then they have to work together years later. Prosecutor hates his investigator, absolutely hates him, and actively wants to work with him to make his life hell, at least at the beginning. I watched the first 2 episodes of this. At least in the beginning, it is a toxic romance. It is toxic for sure, because the prosecutor actively hates this investigator guy and wants to make his life miserable. And yet you have him kissing at the same time. I started this Korean drama for 4 reasons. 1, I needed to watch more BLs. So I picked this one. It made sense. It's a kind of a crime drama, but also mixed in with a BL. And I'm always curious when they have that type of dynamic. Manner of Death, Petrichor, which I'll talk about later. I love when crime dramas are in the BLGL space because I love a good crime drama. 2, people are talking about this one. Apparently it is very popular in China, like very popular. And I have not seen a bad thing things said about this at all. I've been spoiled on some of the more risque scenes, the NC scenes, that will also tell you how toxic some of these scenes are at the same time. I saw a TikTok, and I can't remember who put it out, but apparently Korea is even censoring the NC scenes for this, and you can only get the full-blown scenes internationally. Anyway, it's apparently very popular in China. Also, just everybody's talking about it in general. As I said, my third reason is I love a good crime drama. When a crime drama is mixed with a BL, I will for sure check that one out. 4, the dynamic of the leads, the son of the victim and the son of the person who did the unaliving, have to work together and team up. For sure, I'm going to check out that dynamic. For sure. There is bound to be some great tension with that, and let me tell you, there is great tension between the two of them. Chemistry, for sure, there's great chemistry. Is it toxic? Absolutely. It is so toxic. Absolutely toxic. Do I care that it's toxic? Absolutely not. I watched the first episode. It was just an introduction type. They got to know each other, got to work together, but nothing dramatic happened yet. They didn't find out anything about each other yet. They didn't have any romantic scenes yet. I have been spoiled on some scenes of that, so I know what's coming. The leads have great chemistry, though, even in the first episode, and I can't wait to see how toxic their relationship gets, but also when it starts to turn around and when they start caring for each other, especially the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the cold, toxic one in this case, in my opinion. I really hope it sticks the landing. I really hope this is good because so far, from what I've watched, it is good. And I can see why a lot of people are talking about it. Moving to my next 2 dramas, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these because they're still on the back burner and I need to get them off the back burner. That is Taxi Driver Season 3 and The Judge Returns. I still have only watched the first couple episodes of both of these. I'm not dropping them because I do plan on finishing them. Like, by the end of the year, I plan on finishing these dramas. One reason why I have not watched more is because I was trying to get dramas that I started even earlier than these off my watch list. I also have a lot of dramas currently that I started that I need to watch for future podcast recordings. These, I really don't have a timeline to finish. I really need to finish them, though, so I probably should give myself a timeline. The other reason, which is kind of stupid, it's kind of stupid because I live in a place where in the summer, the sun stays out for hours. Like, it could be 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and the sun is just setting or still up. In the winter and the fall, obviously, the sun sets a lot earlier. So when you have Taxi Driver and Judge Returns, where there's a lot of dark scenes in it, where my TV right now is situated in my apartment, and I have a wall of windows, there's glare on my TV screen. So I can't watch these at right after work or even at like 7 o'clock at night on a summer day because I can't see anything. I know it's really, really stupid, but that means I have to be strategic a little, which is crazy. I need to fix it. I need to fix it somehow by situating my TV differently or like buying some curtain. I have pull down curtains right now, and obviously I'm moving in 2 weeks, but I'm still gonna have a wall of windows in my new apartment too. We'll get there. We'll finish these eventually. I'm not dropping them. And I know I'll like them a lot. They've just been on the back burner. They are still currently on my watch list, but I haven't made any progress on them at all. And it's totally a me problem where I just can't watch them with glare. Totally me problem, for sure. All right, again, one that's going to be on my watch list forever. We are going to go into Korean variety shows. This is Please Take Care of My Refrigerator Season 2. I'm still watching this one. I'm kind of periodically watching episodes here and there. I still love this show, so I'm going to keep watching it. But there's nothing really new to say that I haven't already said about this show. I'm just sporadically watching it when I have the time, when I want to, when I'm too tired to actually think about something and watch something I have to pay attention to. Still excited to watch the new guests and watch the new chefs that come on. I still love this show, but it's an airing cooking show, and I'm episodes behind. So it's going to be on my watch list forever. It is what it is. I am thinking of adding another variety show into the mix, but I need to get some of the other stuff off my watch list now that I started 8 things, 7 things, something like that. But this is going to be on my Watchlist probably forever because it has new episodes every week, and that means I get further and further behind on getting caught up, All right, moving into Chinese dramas, we have some new ones that I click play on, but we also have some that I still am watching, but it's on the back burner, so we have a good mix. First one I'm going to mention is Faded Hearts. I am planning on doing a podcast review of this on the podcast, so I have to click play, and I had to start it. It tells you a lot when I click play on this and I binge 7 episodes in one sitting. That's how much I love this Chinese drama. I'm late. I'm late to this Chinese drama. I've been wanting to watch this for a while, and I knew I would only be able to watch this if I made it a podcast recording. So that's why I did. Finally started this. As I said, I binged 7 episodes in one sitting. Basically, I love this. So this Chinese drama came out last year. It's 38 episodes. It is an iQIYI drama. It stars Li Qing and Chen Zhihuan. I am horrible at pronouncing his name, so I apologize. This is basically about 2 warring kingdoms, and Li Qing, she's an archer. She shoots an arrow through the male lead, Chen Zhihuan's character, and she falls off a cliff and loses her memory. She's severely injured. And then the male lead, being shot with the arrow, is also severely injured. He finds her after shenanigans happened because she has amnesia. He wants to mess with her. They've been at war for a while. They hate each other. He wants to use her, and eventually, this is very early on within like the first couple episodes, they figure out pretty quickly that people want them both dead for various reasons within their own kingdoms. They start a contentious partnership on trying to figure that out, on who wants them dead and trying to survive this scheming that they've encountered. Obviously, eventually a romance ensues, and they have to figure it out while working closely together, investigating things. If you are not one of those people who like enemies to lovers, where enemies, they literally torture each other at the beginning, you will not like this. They hate each other at the beginning. They actively hate each other, and they go tit for tat. They are torturing each other. They bite each other. You can tell this is an enemies to lovers story. I love it so much, so much. I love that even though they absolutely hate each other at the beginning, they quickly knew they had to work together to survive by at least episode 4, episode 5. It was a quick turnaround, which was a little weird, but then you like it so much that you're like, okay, I can go with the flow on this. Their chemistry was so good, even when they were torturing each other. They were still having banter, and it was glorious. Some of the one-liners they said during the torture scenes, I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Definitely a lot of people want these 2 dead. They just have enemies galore everywhere. But I'm so excited to see them work together. I binged 7 episodes of this. They have a partnership, but it's still very contentious. They're not coming around yet. I can't wait for it. And with how much they banter and how crazy their chemistry was in the beginning of this, you know they're going to have a fiery, passionate romance eventually because, man, they were going at it at the beginning of this drama. I also love the male lead soldiers who help him out. You can tell there's going to be a great bromance with that. Li Qing's people, quite not there yet, in my opinion. I'm sure they might get there. She might even become best friends with his soldiers, which we've seen before. We have to wait and see on that. Man, this couple really stands out to me, and I can see why a lot of people love this drama, and I can see why it gets talked about a lot. And I know I'm very late to Faded Hearts, but I'm here now. And so look forward to a podcast review for sure on this one. Next up, we're going to talk about Deep In. This is a Chinese BL drama that started airing at the end of June. I watched the first episode of this. This you can watch on Viki. It is about 2 actors. One actor is Zhang Zun. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. Zhang Zun. He auditions for this movie, and he's a actor who just can't seem to catch a break. He's trying to find that role that gives him stable work, and he just has not been able to find it. And so he, during this movie, starts working with Zheng Qin, who is the opposite. He is a hot actor. He's been famous since childhood. They start starring in this movie. I haven't gotten to this point, but apparently the storyline of the movie is it's a doctor and patient engaging in a relationship. I don't know how this format works, but in my mind, I'm sure we're going to get the doctor-patient storyline and then their own personal off-camera relationship. Apparently, it is a very toxic relationship in this drama. You can tell from episode 1 it will be, but just in episode 1, they haven't shot any of the drama scenes. But the child actor, the famous actor played by Ollie, he is the reason why I started watching this. He is very toxic, even in the first meeting. So I can't even imagine how toxic this drama is going to be. The movie storyline of Doctor with a relationship, that's already a toxic relationship, you know? So I'll be curious if they actually pull off the duo storylines that they seem to be wanting to do. We'll have to wait and see. I started this mainly because a lot of people were talking about it even before it started airing. A lot of people who watch Chinese dramas knew this was coming, was very excited for it. So I put it on my plan to watch list, and then I decided over the long weekend to start it. As I said, this Chinese drama is going to be toxic. It is not going to be a healthy relationship for sure, at least within the movie storyline. Maybe even within their personal storylines. We'll have to wait and see. But within the context of a patient-doctor relationship, that is never a healthy relationship, you know? I've watched the first episode. I'm not sure about the lead pairing yet, but I will say I do like the lead's chemistry. Now, as I said, I went into this because of Ollie. He was on Boys Planet. I was curious how he was going to do as an actor. Now, on Boys Planet, he seemed very young on Boys Planet. He definitely has aged in Deep In, but he still looks very young to me. Not as young as what he looked like on Boys Planet, though, so that is helping. I think this drama, as I said, will have a very interesting perspective because it is the movie storyline and the personal relationship in like duo storylines of this drama. It's going to have some very morally gray characters for sure that are going to have boundaries that are probably going to be crossed. But I'm curious how the lead's relationship will grow. I'm curious if there'll be a distinction that you can tell between their movie characters and their own personal characters. And I'm curious to see how that will be acted out. I liked the first episode. I want to watch more. I haven't actually been really spoiled on this, which I'm surprised about. I have seen some things, though. I can see why people are talking about it because it is a very unique and interesting drama. But I will say, I never pictured Ollie doing this role. And after the first episode, it's like wait to see type situation. I don't think he's bad in the role. It's just the first episode that I watched, and I need to see more of them. I think the person playing his partner, though, did quite well. And I do like their chemistry, at least in the first episode. So I'm excited to watch more. It's definitely going to be a toxic BL for sure. For sure. At least in the first episodes, unless they really change up the storyline and have some growth here. Next Chinese drama we're going to talk about is Bittersweet Love. This is another BL that I started over the weekend. This is going to be another toxic Chinese BL drama in so many ways. In so many ways. This started in July. It's going to go till the end of August. You can watch it on Viki. I watched the first episode. I think the first 3 came out when it started. So this stars Zhao Ningjie and Guan Yu. I have not seen either one of these actors in any other drama. This is a brother-in-law's falling in love. We have a Guan Yu who plays Lu Xiaofan. He is from the countryside, has lived in the countryside all his life, and he marries into this very wealthy Beijing family. And I would say this is a historical drama. It's not Republican era, but definitely early 1900s, I want to say. I'm not quite sure what the time period is, but it's not Republican. But it's not 1990s. I would say it's early 1900s. He's married to a woman in this wealthy family, and he crosses paths with his brother-in-law, who is the main first son of this wealthy family. And it is very clear, even in episode 1, that the brother-in-law, the wealthy brother-in-law, is attracted to this country boy. Like, very clear, because at the start starts teasing him and supporting him, and the wife Lao Xiaofan married is horrible. Even in episode 1 is horrible and treats him horribly. And then his family treats him horribly. He is a doormat, even in episode 1. And I'm sure it gets worse. It is definitely going to have a power dynamic for sure. Because again, one male lead is from the countryside from a very poor family. And the other male lead is from a wealthy city family. Definitely going to have a power dynamic. I'm sure that's going to play off in this drama. Love the cinematography, though. The cinematography is beautiful in this drama. Leads do have chemistry, but I will say compared to some of the other BLs that I'm watching, it is very under the radar chemistry, at least in episode 1. It does not stand out comparatively to some of the other BLs I'm watching, but they do have chemistry. The rich brother-in-law definitely has a presence and has this powerful presence when he's in a room. And you know there's gonna be something there between the leads, for sure. And it's definitely on the slower side. I don't see how this is gonna end well. In so many ways. Given the time period, it's not gonna end well. Given the fact that he's married to his sister is not gonna end well. I foresee a sad ending happening with this drama, for sure. I liked the first episode. So I'm really curious what other people think of this BL if they're watching it. I haven't seen a ton of people talk about it. I think it's one of the kind of airing under the radar compared to some of the other BLs that are airing right now. But I like the first episode, but it's definitely going to be another toxic BL for sure. Story of Yanxi Palace. I finally started this. I am watching this for a upcoming podcast review. I watched the first 2 episodes, and man, you got drama in the first couple of episodes, and we know that this is a palace politics, palace harem Cdrama. It's a classic one. It is a long drama. It's 70 episodes. It's an iQIYI drama. I'm watching it on iQIYI. It is from 2018, so it's a little older. It has star power, though. If you have watched C-dramas for any length of time, you will know some of these actors. You have Woo Jin-yeon, who you may know from The Double, of course. You have Ni Yeon. I know I'm mispronouncing his name. He is a veteran actor. Kinlan, you would know her. Shu Kai, you definitely know him. Charmaine Shea, you know her. I mean, this is a phenomenal cast, and it's ensemble cast, so there's a large cast in this. I have not seen a palace harem concubine household politics drama in a bit, and I know due to censorship they don't make these anymore, or they at least aren't made often, especially with the episode count. For sure. But I can see why a lot of people name this as like the gold standard of these types of dramas, for sure, even in episode 1. The story's going to be messy. There's going to be a lot of backstabbing. There's going to be a lot of competition between these people, between the wives. You can already tell in episode 1, the female lead is calculating. She is a woman who enters the palace as a servant, and I'm assuming rises through the ranks. We have Woo Jin-yeon. She is a embroiderer entering the palace to investigate her older sister's death and starts having relationships and friendships with these characters. And due to her scheming and her working in the palace, people take an interest in her and teach her to read and write, teach her to become more of a court lady, and she rises through these ranks and uses that to investigate her sister's death. Ultimately, I'm sure getting revenge and becoming a powerful person within this palace, for sure. And then, of course, you have all the other consorts, all the other concubines, all the other empresses competing together. It's her story, but it's not only just her story. You have everybody else woven into this story. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be drama. It's going to be scheming. It's going to be dramatic. I'm ready for it. It is a 70-episode C-drama. I can't say I'm going to binge this because it's 70 episodes and we know how bad of a binger I am, but I could see myself watching a lot at a time. I mean, I watched 7 episodes of Faded Heart. So if I really get into this, which episode 1 was great, I could watch 5 or 6 episodes at a time. We'll have to wait and see. It is considered a classic. At the time that it aired, or at least like maybe a year later, it was one of the most Googled C-dramas of the year, which is a feat within itself because Google doesn't exist in China. Like, you can't get to it, apparently. So that was something. I remember reading that stat when it was airing or after it aired. I'm currently watching Story of Yanxi Palace. I like the first episode. If you want to watch along, you will eventually get a review of this later in the year. A couple of dramas that are on the back burner for me right now with C-dramas. You're going to have a couple of these where you're like, Caitlin, you just need to watch it. Like, what are you doing? I'm sure people are going to be like, why? Why are these still on your back burner? Under the Skin Season 2, I have not watched more of this drama since last month. I watched the first episode last month. As you noticed, I started a lot of dramas this month between things I needed to watch for podcast recordings and just things I decided to start. You will notice, though, I did finish 2 C-dramas this month that are no longer on my watch list. So that's the thing. I'm not dropping this, but it is on the back burner. Same with The Guilty. I know. I should have completed this a long time ago. It's only 12 episodes, and I'm still only on the first episode. We're still here. I want to continue watching it. I don't want to drop it. It's still on the back burner. I will finish it this year, though, but I really do need to watch it. It's only 12 episodes. And then last, of course, you're going to be like, Caitlin, what the hell are you doing? I'm still watching Pursuit of Jade, and I have not watched more episodes. And I will say, up until this point, I've been actively avoiding watching this because I wanted to forget stuff I saw on social media, and now I'm kind of forgetting it. I think I can continue watching it now. Again, this is another one I will definitely finish. I'm not going to let it sit there, but I do need to actually actively start watching it again. Last Chinese drama that I started again for another podcast episode is Goodbye My Princess. This is another one that's been on my plan to watch list forever, and due to me needing to watch it for a podcast review, I'm finally starting it. Goodbye My Princess is a Youku drama. It aired in 2019. It's 52 episodes. You can watch it on Viki, which is where I'm watching it. It stars Chen Xingxu and Peng Zhaoran. Those are the main 2 leads. I'll just name those 2 people right now. This is an infamous ending. Even if you don't know anything about this drama, you definitely probably have heard about the ending of this Chinese drama if you are in any way watching Chinese dramas. This was a hit back when it was airing. It did numbers for sure. I am watching the non-director cut though, because the director's cut I think has like 55 episodes or something. You can watch both. Both are on Viki. I'm watching the not director cut. So 52 episodes. Peng Xiaorang plays a princess from the Central Plains, and she is sent to marry Chen Qingshu's character, who's the crown prince. And she's forced to marry this guy. It's a marriage alliance. She's forced into marrying this guy. And I'm sure politics happens, scheming happens. He also doesn't want to marry her either. I'm sure this is going to be a contentious marriage, and I'm sure drama happens. I watched the first episode. I will say everybody looks so young because this is a 2019 drama. Chen Xingxu, this is the drama that kind of put him on the map, and he's 30 right now. This was a 2019 drama. This was 7 years ago. So he was in his early 20s when he filmed this, maybe even 20 when he filmed this, and then it aired and he was in his early 20s. That will tell you how young he looks in this drama. I can already tell this drama is going to have some classic C-drama tropes. I already know the ending of this, so I know where this is going, so I was spoiled on that. You can't be in C-drama land and not know about the ending of this drama. If you are, good. You're lucky to not know the ending of this drama. I can tell this is definitely a high budget because the drama is beautifully made. They went to locations to film this. You can tell. Everything from the costumes to the sets, it stands out for sure. The female lead has an iconic red dress, and it shows up in episode 1. Beautiful. It's iconic. It's beautiful. There are some things that kind of looked a little dated to me. There's a scene in the end of episode 1 where you have one character on screen riding a horse or walking or something, and then you have another character's head in the sky, basically. It looked a little dated to me. Just a little, but it didn't bother me a ton. You're gonna get ready for some angst with this one for sure. Already in episode 1, there's angst, and it's only just starting. That is Goodbye My Princess, and that is all of the Chinese dramas I'm currently watching. And then last but certainly not least, we are getting into Thai dramas. I'm watching four, I should say. I'm actively watching 2. 2 of them I started on the long weekend. We have Not, and you're like, Caitlin, why are you watching Not? It's a BL. I needed to start some BLs. So Not is a 12-episode Thai drama. It started the end of June. It's going to air until September. I pretty much started this because it's 1 episode a week. And honestly, I should have waited because I have already watched both episodes. So this stars Oat and Boat, who I have never watched in a drama before. Apparently, they've starred in dramas together, but this is my first of theirs. It also stars Team, who I think is going to be another couple in this drama, and then there's apparently going to be a third couple. But the lead couple is played by Oat and Boat. This is an Omegaverse Thai drama. This is my first Omegaverse. I did not watch ABO Desire, even though I basically watched it on social media last year because everybody and their mother was watching it. So this is my first time actively watching an Omegaverse drama. When I say Omegaverse, if you don't know, that's like Alpha, Beta, Omega in their world. Oat essentially is bitten by Boat. So Boat is this alpha, true alpha actually, and he's a member of a very powerful family, and he comes across Oat and bites him, and then thus claims him as his own. And so Oat, who has really no idea about the Omegaverse at all in his world, has to be introduced to this world and then actively navigate the world while discovering basically that he's an Omega, and he never knew that at all. What I liked about this is, one, the lead's chemistry. Oat and Boat have some great chemistry. I need to watch their other drama, even from the first 2 episodes. The world and the lore makes sense to me for this. It's not overly complicated, and I think it's explained very well in the first 2 episodes. They already have set up 3 couples, so I like that they have multiple couples in this. It definitely is concentrated on the lead couple for sure in the first 2 episodes, but at least you know there's going to be other couples. I thought the acting between Oat and Boat, the 2 leads, was quite good. I have nothing against their acting. This is my first time watching them. What I liked, though, is you really get the animalistic part of the Omegaverse. The whole thing is with pheromones. What I thought was clever was when they introduced all the characters, they introduced what they were, if they knew. Like, so, for example, with Boat's character, they were like, he's a true alpha. This is what his scent smells like. This is what his pheromones are. I thought that was actually quite cool and quite clever. But it was really convincing, like the animalistic part, like the whole idea is like you can't control the attraction, and so you kind of go crazy. I'm sure it was difficult to film these scenes because I personally think I would be laughing filming these scenes, but they did it convincingly. The whole not being able to control and the animalistic part of this, I thought they did fairly well, at least filming it convincingly, and it drew me in. I thought the first 2 episodes were very entertaining. I'm sure this is going to be a polarizing drama. I'm sure you're either going to like the drama or you're not going to like the drama. Because as I saw from the discourse with ABO Desire, it was kind of the same way. Either you loved what you were watching or you did not like what you were watching and you didn't understand the hype. I'm sure that's going to be the same thing with this. I personally enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and I'm excited to watch more. I also really want to watch Oat and Boat in another drama. That's just me. So that was Not. The other Thai BL that I started is Payback. I've been hearing everybody talk about this one, and I finally was like, oh, well, I got the time. I'm just going to start it. This is a 10-episode Thai drama. It started in May and is going to end August 1st. You can watch it on IGE. This stars Min and Top Tap. I have not watched either one of these people. This is about Min. He is a delivery man. I've only watched the first episode. It's really his background in the first episode. You don't really know much about the other male lead played by Top Tap. You have Min, who plays Sun. Sun is a delivery man, and he's had a rough life. He's had a very rough life, and due to violence, he lost both his brother and his mom, and he kind of has put him in a situation due to guilt where he is constantly living in this violence because he just is so guilty about it. And he discovers that he needs to enter this entertainment company to get revenge for his family's deaths. And so he enters this entertainment company, and the other male lead, Top Tap, is the director of this entertainment company. I'm assuming they start this relationship. Top Tap really was not very prevalent in the first episode except for the very end, so I don't know much about his character. And I don't know if he knew the delivery man. I don't know if he knows Sun before Sun decided to get revenge and join his company. I don't know yet. The reason why Sun wants revenge is it's revealed in the first episode that his ex is a part of this company and he wants revenge on his ex for a reason, and I'm not going to say why. Sun enters this entertainment company as an actor. He passes an audition, I guess, and enters this entertainment company, and they start a relationship of sorts. I can see why a lot of people are talking about this. I can see why people are loving it. The acting, fairly good, especially with Min's character, because again, the other male lead wasn't really prevalent in the episode 1, so I didn't really know much about him. I didn't really get a gauge of his acting yet. Min, though, did very well in the first episode. He had a lot of emotional scenes in the first episode to act out, so I thought the acting was very well done. Min's character is going to have a lot of trauma to deal with, for sure. For sure. He's going to have a lot of trauma to work through. I will say, though, I wasn't hooked on the first episode. I think it's because it was a lot of backstory and a lot of building up Min's character. It wasn't bad. Usually with these BLs, I want to see the couple meet, and they did at the very end of episode 1. I kind of wanted more, you know? It's not like I'm going to drop this drama, though, because the acting was fairly good in episode 1. I see potential. I can see it growing on me. I want to know more about the second male lead. I want to know what he's going to do with his ex. I already want to see what the ex has coming for him because his ex is horrible already. Even in the present day, his ex is horrible. So I can see why a lot of people are liking Payback. I'm excited to watch more of it, but I watched the first episode of Payback. And Payback also with the title, it's going to be a revenge. The other two Thai dramas, I have Girl From Nowhere and Petrichor. Petrichor I started last month. I haven't watched more, only watched the first episode. Still love the first episode. I'm just working on other dramas to get them off my watch list. And of course, I started like a bunch of dramas. That's where we're at on Petrichor. And then Girl From Nowhere, again, this is on the back burner. I really have not watched more. I love the first episode. I need to make a priority and I need to finish it. I was getting dramas that were on my current watch list from earlier off my current watch list. Of course, I went crazy and just added more dramas on my watch list as well. I have no excuses on why I haven't watched more of these. They're still on my watch list. I haven't watched more of it. That's where we're at with everything. So that is everything on my current watch list. As you can see, this is a longer watch list. Mainly because I started a bunch of dramas. As per usual, at the very end, I'm going to name any dramas I plan to add to my current watch list. As of right now, I'm not planning to add anything due to me moving, but also because I started basically everything I was planning on starting due to future podcast episodes for now. At this point, I'm playing it by ear. I'm going to see if I can get more stuff off my watch list. I'm not going to add anything until I can get some of the older stuff off my watch list and actively work to get that off my watch list. As of right now, I'm not adding anything new to my watch list, which I think you will say is a good thing. Because some of you are like, Kaylin, why do you keep adding stuff to your watch list? That's fair. That's very fair. It's very fair, especially when I have things still on my watch list from January, like Pursuit of Jade, which I don't think is actually from January, but I don't know. Anyway, that is what I'm currently watching. That is my current watch list. I know it's a little unhinged and crazy and chaos, but that's what July is for my life. I hope you like this. I hope you like hearing what I'm currently watching. I love talking about it, so let me know in the comments what you are currently watching. Have you watched anything that I am currently watching? Tell me what I should give priority to, because clearly I have too many things on my current watch list and I need to get some stuff off. Tell me what I need to prioritize. Some things I am caught up on, but most of the things I'm behind or I just need to start and need to bring back into rotation. Let me know in the comments what you are currently watching, and thank you for listening.